Welcome back to another video in the Hips Don't Lie series. Today I want to look at how to self-assess hip range of motion or flexibility. Okay, so one thing that's important is making sure you have adequate range of motion at the hips. And big ball and socket joint has tons or should have tons of range of motion and multiple planes of motion. Oftentimes we lose this range of motion. I mean, common now for us to be sitting for long periods of time, not really addressing the hip properly to really tap into that full range of motion. Today I want to show you two very simple self-assessments to look at hamstring and then also hip flexor flexibility. The first self-assessment for hamstring flexibility is called the 90-90 straight leg raise. So very simple. If you think of what the 90-90 position is, the hips are at 90 degrees, the knees are at 90 degrees, and what all I'm going to do is I'm going to let one leg straighten out. I'm going to support this leg, so I'll be testing my right leg. I want to make sure my hip and my knee are aligned vertically, okay? So my hip is staying at 90 degrees. I'm not pulling too far back. I'm not letting it slouch out because that will change the outcome of the test. And from here, all I want to do is to test hamstring flexibility. If you think logically, all we need to do is start to straighten this knee to make sure my knee can get out close to full extension. But we want to be able to get to about 20 to 30 degrees minimum of extension. So you see, if you're someone here who has really tight hamstrings, you could be stuck at this position right here and not be able to extend the knee. That's when we know, okay, we have a big limitation in hamstring flexibility. But we want to make sure we can get up closer. Again, obviously make sure as we start to straighten this leg out, the hip's going to want to go in that position because as the hamstring lengthens and we're holding, that we're going to try to find some way to compensate. So make sure you're really supporting that leg. Take it slow. Both legs are lined up. We're not losing our position and rolling out to the side here. And then all you're going to do is just straighten that knee out to see where you end. Again, might need someone to look from the side. You maybe have to look in a mirror if you're at home, a full-length mirror, to see, can I get to about 20, 30 degrees of full extension? If not past that, ideally we'd be able to straighten that leg out if we have really good hamstring length, but that is a very simple test that helps you look at hamstring flexibility. So next up, let's look at how to self-assess hip flexor flexibility. To do this, we're going to use a very simple test called the Thomas test. So with that being said, what we need at home is, again, obviously most people don't have a treatment table at home. You can lay on, if you feel comfortable with it, lay on your kitchen table something solid that's elevated. So as you sit down here and lay back, the legs are almost going to float in the air and not touch the ground. But as I sit, you can see I don't want to be sitting back here because this table is going to obstruct my leg and not allow it to lower down to the ground. I want to slide off the table to some degree so the middle part of my butt is sitting on the edge. So it's almost like you're more off the table than you are on. From there, I'm going to lay back. I'm going to hold both legs, knee to chest. I'm just going to pick one leg. The one I'm supporting, again, is not the one being tested. It's the one that's being lowered. So as I lower my right leg here, left leg is comfortably held knee to chest. I'm not overly cranking on that leg. You see what happens? My other leg kind of jumps up here. I'm going to just comfortably hold that leg so this right leg can lower down to the ground. I'm just going to let that right leg hang. So you can see for me, knee about level with the hip, or you might see something different, might be a little higher from that view. Again, look in the mirror, have someone look, say, hey, is my knee below my hip? We want to make sure that knee drops below the hip. That's going to tell us we have good length through this hip flexor, the psoas, iliacus, rectus femoris. That's going to tell us that. Also, at all times, we want to make sure we're not arching our back. Just because that psoas muscle comes and attaches to the spine is a good chance that as we let the leg lower, we're going to go into a bit of extension or increased lordosis at the low back. So we want to make sure that we're not increasing through there as well. That's something good to look at. If you really start to arch your back as you hold that position, that could mean the hip flexor is tight as well. We're just going to hold there, just let that leg hang and see at what position you are in. But obviously testing both sides, see if there's a difference as you look in the mirror, as someone from the side looks at you. And that is a good way to self-assess hip flexor flexibility. Okay, so those are two very simple self-assessments looking at the hips, and I hope you enjoyed the video today. Run through those on your own. Check out, do you have any restrictions at the hamstring or hip flexors? Again, two areas where I hear people commonly say they always feel tight. So are you actually restricted there, or is it more of a subjective feeling of tightness and tension, or is that those muscles just really so shortened that you cannot get a full range of motion? Again, running is something that We don't need a lot of range of motion to go through that running cycle, but it's always good to troubleshoot just to have a good understanding at how much range of motion you have around the hip joint. And in future videos, we'll actually look at different strategies to improve flexibility at the hip.